Ladies and gentlemen, it's my esteemed pleasure to be with you and have good times with you. Without further ado, let's get straight to it. This is the 29th week of Think and Grow Rich. Now, we've been doing some different things. And I was talking last week about how I got all these chapters. When I first was exposed to Think and Grow Rich in 2008, I got the CD and it had cassette tape side 1 on it. Someone burnt the tape to the CD, and I thought I was reading it over and over and over and over. But you know what? I wasn't. But it was good for me because it changed my life. Now let me say this real quick. I had to read 162 self-help books just to stop being negative. I want all of you to process that information. I was so negative in 2008. Kid from the hood. I had to read 162 self-help books. Not to win, to stop being negative, to stop being arrogant, to stop out my own mind thinking that I'm right. How many of you can relate to that? Come on, now, this is a very interactive class. You'll be able to talk here in a second. I'm going to do a little monologue, and then we'll open up for a great session. Honestly, and Think and Grow Rich was one of those last ones that I read along that journey. And then here's what happened, Pam Norris. I got to all those books, all that knowledge, and then boom, I didn't know what to do with it. As a matter of fact, Jerome, I didn't even understand Think and Grow Rich. I was like, I got it. I get it intellectually, but what the heck do I do next? And here's what I did. I went back and reviewed everything I read. I went back and reviewed it. Honestly, I went back and said, okay, up until this point, what do I need to process from this book? Because I've been reading it for 2 years now, and nothing has changed for me. Pause, wait a minute. Let's see if we can rewind that. How many of you have been on the right road for 2 years and you still haven't seen change? Come on, turn on your cameras if you can. Raise your hands. Let me hear from you. You get it. So this is where I'm at. I'm setting the stage. I want you to understand that I'm sitting right here reading this doggone book that they say creates the most millionaires in the world. And I'm not getting nothing from it. Nothing. So I said, let me review. And so what we're going to talk about tonight is what my review was, but we got a lot to talk about. I only covered one sentence from the review that I did last week. And now we're going to attack the next 2 sentences if we can. So if you're looking for a title for the next few weeks, we're going to be in the formulation of a definite and practical plan. This is what I surmised in my own brain. I said, you know what? I think this book is trying to tell me that it needs to be a formulation of a plan. It needs to be definite and it needs to be practical. Now, if you follow me on social media or whatever have you, I'm very practical. I like practical steps to my winning. The sentence I read last week that sparked a 2-hour tearful conversation was, I believe that I will have this money in my possession. That's all I read last week. I didn't even finish the rest of it, but we were able to change lives and have everybody understand. Here's what I said, Vastine. Very simple. This was the covering of last week. I basically told people, you pray too much. Stop it. So I basically said to people. Now, I didn't say prayer was wrong. I said there's this formula. This is ask, believe, receive. And most of you you're steady asking. And then you keep yourself in believing mode and you never get to receiving. I want all of you to think about this. If you've been on the right road for 2 years and you know you're doing the right thing, consider that you haven't relaxed your mind or your body to become what you keep believing for. I'll repeat and say that again. This is the whole point of last week, that you have not put yourself into a position to where you can relax and say, wow, I got it. Okay, wow, I am the lawyer before I pass the bar. I'm going to say it the 3rd time, and hopefully you take some good notes so you can receive. Asking is part of the battle. That's the prayer, lofty prayer, the asking. Then what you do is you go out and you believe, you know what, I'm going to do it. I'm gonna work hard. I'm gonna work hard. I'm gonna work hard. Tempest Smith, my business partner, teaches people around our company, if you think working hard will make you money, the only time you can make money is when you're working hard. Ooh, that should have hurt somebody. That should have hurt somebody. Come on, we getting ready. I ain't even started what I want to read this week. I'm still reviewing last week, so all of you can catch up and get with me. Okay? She says, if you think working hard is going to make you money, the only time you can make money is when you're working hard. You see, rich people don't necessarily make money only when they're working hard. And I'm trying to figure it out. How in the world is this book working for everybody but me? Anybody ever felt that way? Come on, look, you might as well, this is a real call. It's going to be some folk cussing. It's going to be some folk worshiping. Let me tell you, it's going to be all sorts of stuff in this call. Let me tell you. Have you ever been to the point where you said, here I am, going to church, and the neighbor who don't even go get a new car every 2 weeks, every 2 years? Come on now, don't fool me now, right? You understand? I've been there. I'm trusting, I'm praying, I'm believing, I'm talking to Allah, I'm talking to those meals. I'm just, please, God, do something, and your blessing, the same thing you asked for, to hit somebody else. Have you ever been there? Come on, you got to be there with me. This is how it is, and I'm sitting here in this state, and I go, what the heck is this book trying to teach me? Because I'm clearly missing it. And what I was missing was relax. I want you all to receive this. Last week, I pulled out $1,000, okay? I pulled out $1,000 last week on camera, literally counted it, and I put it to the camera. And all you have to do is receive $1,000. Is when Jerome's like, yeah, I got that. That's all me. I so appreciate you. I got a place this to go to right now. There's a Capital One credit card. I can put that $1,000 on right now. I understand. I get it. He said, I'm still waiting on $1,000 in mail. When I give Michelle Washington something, it takes a very little energy to hold her hand out and receive. Pay attention. Receiving takes very little effort. How many of you are walking around in your life right now relaxed enough to receive what the universe is sending your way? You're grinding your teeth. You got that pain in some of y'all, your fingers is numb right now because you got that pinched nerve in your neck from all that stress. Come on, I'm getting, Jerome, I'm going all the way. I'm getting in all the driveways possible. All the driveways possible. You're sitting here. You can't feel these fingers right here because they numb from the back of your neck. Your jaw muscles is always tired because you grind your teeth from stress. You got headaches you can't explain because you never walk around relaxed and allowing the universe to give to you. Everybody write this down. You can't receive from a tense body. Come on. You can't receive from a tense body. Think about it. You can't give birth to your child with a tense body. You can't do anything tense. You can't. Asking is part of the battle. Believing you can is part of the battle, but at that point, you need to relax and allow good things to flow in your life. I'm talking to somebody right now. I'm talking to somebody. Darryl, I'm talking to somebody right now. You haven't allowed yourself to relax enough to receive the blessing. You haven't allowed yourself. Here you are. You still talking. You still building. When you gonna get paid? Don't build. Build and allow money. How many of you can use 100 customers right now? How many of you pastors can use 100 tithe-paying members right now? I know I'm going to get them. Because them ain't regular members. Them is tithe-paying members. Them different kind of members. You understand? And what you want to do.
You better talk, boy.
There it is. There it is. What you want to do is you want to relax. You don't become the lawyer when you pass the bar. You become the lawyer when you decide freshman year, I'm going to be a lawyer. All right, last concept I'll give you before we move on to this week. This is difficult to understand, but if you get this, it will fundamentally change your life. I want everybody right now, repeat in your head or out loud, if I receive what he is about to say, it will fundamentally change my life. Let's go ahead right now. Repeat it to yourself. If I receive what he is about to say, come on, I see some of y'all saying it. It will fundamentally change my life. You ready for it? Here it goes. You graduate and apply for school at the same time. That's hard. See, that's hard. That's hard. See, I can't get that. You can't get that because you can't understand that. I'm telling you that graduation day happened the very day you went and applied for school. Can I push it further, Jerome? I'm going to push it further. It couldn't even be no graduation day if you never showed up to the school and applied. Ooh, I'm starting to get excited. Wait a minute. Let me calm it down. You couldn't even walk across the stage in the cap and gown if you first didn't go through the administrative process. I'm going to break it down even more simply. Every time you apply for school, you schedule a graduation. Somebody should have wrote that down. Somebody should have wrote that down. Every time you apply for school, you automatically schedule a graduation. Did y'all hear me? Can I say it a different way for everybody now? Every time you plant a seed, you automatically schedule a harvest. Write that down, y'all. Come on, write it down. Write it down. The planting and the harvest, they happen at the same time. You just have to take your finite body to walk into the harvest. But you schedule the harvest when you plant the seed. I wish I had some folk out there that your life ain't working out the way you want it to. You've been judging yourself by your harvest. You can't get right from getting right. Let me help you out a little bit. If you plant it now, you schedule it later automatically. I'm trying to help some folk, Michelle. I'm trying to help some folks. If you plant the seed, you automatically schedule the harvest. Automatic. It means you already won the moment you thought about it. There's a person who says it better than me. They call him the Dean of Motivation. You may have heard him. His name is Earl Nightingale. He says it this way. The moment you think it, it's already yours. It has no choice but to be already yours because the universe works that way. He's got this deep voice about him. The moment you think something, it's automatically yours. One more concept before we move forward. I want you to see these two hands I have on camera. Two hands. Imagine these are God's hands, okay, or whatever you perceive to be God. Whatever religion, I want you to perceive it this way. In this hand, on camera for me, it's my left hand. It may look right for you. It's right for you, okay. So as this right hand, that's what we'll say. This is God's hand saying, and Darryl says, I want $1 million. And the source of this universe goes, sure, okay, let me go grab it. On the way. And through miles and miles of the universe, it's on the way. And then Darryl goes, I can't get $1 million. All right, then. All right, well, here you go. Let me give you this one, what you can't have. I'll do it again, Michelle. Maybe they're going to get it this time. The universe only says yes. There is no such thing as lack. You're always getting an abundance of what you actually want. I want a new car. Okay, good. Here you go. But I got these bills. All right, then let me give you these more bills then. And that's what happens. I'll do it a different way. Some of you believe it ain't your problem. Indecision is your problem. You say, I want a new car, and it never show up in your life because the God you serve, the source you serve, or whatever it be, does it say new car? Okay, I got plenty of those. Which one you want? See, I can't give you something because you picked from 1 trillion. I need you to be specific. Vaccine, what kind of new car? Well, I want a Dodge. Okay, I got plenty of Dodges. Which one you want? And you never call into existence. You never get the hand moving this way because you're so indecisive back here. Am I making this plain? I feel like I'm on it, Jerome. I'm trying to make it as plain as possible. I'm trying to make it as plain as possible. But when you got that law faith, when you say, I want a fully loaded, okay, fully loaded, here's that section. Black Tesla, all right. I got rid of all them other cars, here's that section, okay? And I want it to be 4-door, all right, here's the 4-door section. And I wanted to have peanut butter seats, all right, that's that one right there. I want it right now, okay, it's on the way. And then law goes, but I got these bills, all right, let me put that back. Here's the bills you want. All right, that's everything that you missed from last week. And that came from one sentence. I believe that I will have this money in my possession. Can we move forward now? I really want to move forward. Let's move forward. The next thing I wrote down, this is if you're just logging in, I couldn't fathom why the hell this book wasn't working for me. It was bothering me. Why is it everybody else is getting blessed? Here I am doing all the right stuff and I can't get what I want. You been there before? I'm in this doggone network marketing company. Everybody else is promoting the SD and MD and XD. And here I am. I can't even get my 3 to go get 3. I wish I had somebody. This is real examples. I'm telling you, that's a real example of me. I had a list that I had wrote down, and here's how the list worked for. Here's how my list worked for me, y'all. My list said one thing. That it said 2 things. When you make it, I'll come in. Oh, shucky ducky, right? When you get to that level, I'll come in. Here's the other second of my list. Man, pay my way in and I'll do it. That's what I had to deal with. Why I keep getting this? And then I got defeated. So I had to write down, man, what's going on with me? Why I can't get it? And I went back and summarized the book. And here's the second sentence I want to get to y'all. I'm going to paste it first so we can read it together. But then we got to, then what we got to do is we got to talk about it. So y'all get ready to talk. I pasted it first. It says, my faith is so strong that I can now see this money before my eyes. All right. My faith is so strong, Jerome, that I can now see this money before my eyes. Here's the first thing that popped out to me, Jerome. When I was reviewing it, at this time I was taking some languages in college. I'm taking some languages and they're teaching me how to do what you call sentence diagramming. So I know how, I know the dative and the genitive position. I know how words fit together. I had to take all that stuff. I had to take 16 classes of languages just to get one of my degrees. I was taking, at one semester, I was taking 2 languages at the same time. I was taking language 3, I was taking Greek, and I was taking Hebrew at the same time. Greek 3, Hebrew 1, it was ridiculous. It was awful. My Monday mornings were messed up. And I looked at this sentence again, and I recognized my and faith were a whole different part of the sentence. My is what you call first person singular pronoun. Faith, or pistos in Greek, depending on how you use it, can be a noun or a verb. And I had to figure out what's going on in this sentence because I'm clearly not getting it. Carol, I don't know what's going on. And I had to recognize that I didn't have no faith that was mine. Robin, I'm coming around this corner. I'm landing this plane. We about to talk about it. I recognize the problem with Think and Grow Rich is my thoughts with mine. I'm thinking with what they told me to think. I'm thinking through the lens of my grandmother's poverty. She loved me, y'all. Oh, don't get it twisted. And she can sure cook a pie. She can cook anything. But she ain't know nothing about no money. And she didn't teach me on purpose, but she taught me all her bad habits. Anybody got some folk like that in your life? They didn't try to do it on purpose, but you learn money don't grow on trees. Actually, it does. It does. That's how we got it. Okay? My faith says this here. Ownership, mine. Not yours, Jerome. Mine. And then faith, in this particular sentence, was operating differently than what I understood. It wasn't my something. It was a definite thing. When you say faith, that's Miss B faith. When you say my faith, you cancel every other option and you're just talking about yours. I want to ask you a question. How many of you have recognized in this point of your life, you don't have your thoughts and you don't have your own faith? Let's talk about it. Jerome, you first.
Did you see me raise my hand?
I sure did.
You done started this thing and you done messed me up. And I'm saying it's not only to you, but I'm saying it to everybody who's on the call. A year ago, I met you. You've told me 3 times in that year, Jerome, if you stay on the path that you're on, by the end of 2019, you'll be a millionaire. You said that to me 3 times. The first time you said it to me, I'm like, yeah, you done made a couple dollars. You got a little business. Yeah, whatever. But the last time you said it to me, something changed. And you know what I realized,
tell us about it.
Mr. Antonio T. Smith? Just what you just said. Because the things that I've learned through this online university and the things that I've learned about myself, just like you said, it came back to me, not you, not ATS. It was all about Jerome. And when I recognized that, I started executing. I started making it happen. And then I started saying, I said, wait a minute, this ain't got nothing to do with Antonio. This is about me. Hello. So that's why I raised my hand. I was like, boy, you know you preaching to me. You know you preaching to me. That's what's going on. I got an invoice today from CDS, Creative Adult Studios, because you know why I got an invoice today, Antonio?
Why is that?
Because when I spoke to her on Saturday, she said, number one, you ready to release your book? I am. Gave her the date when I'm going to release it. She said, when am I going to get the first book, Jerome? I ain't seen a book yet. That's what you've been saying, but you've been doing it real nice. She wasn't nice about it, Antonio. I said, within a month. She said, okay. She sent me an invoice today. That's what I'm talking about. And I didn't get your permission to make that date, nor did I need to get permission to get the invoice. It's all about what I execute, not what Antonio executes.
Talk, sir.
Come on.
Now, I want y'all to hear that. He ain't had to give my permission. Everybody, write this down. You don't need permission. You just need to notify people. Come on now. Jerome don't need my permission. He gonna notify me. Now, you got 2 ways to notify people. You can tell them now, or you can do what the wealthy do, and you can tell them when they can buy it. I'm trying to help somebody. If you tell people, if Jerome say, you know what, I'm gonna get my book, y'all, I'm gonna get my book. All y'all gonna go, good job, Jerome. We love you so much, yay. And then all that brain juice gonna make him feel real high. And wherever you get your gratification, work stops. I'm talking to somebody. Wherever you get your gratification, work stops. Wealthy people put the gratification on the back end. Don't compliment me until I done changed the whole product, the whole world. Until it's on the shelf, you won't even know about it. You didn't know I was in India until I showed you. I ain't had time to be telling y'all. Wherever gratification comes, work stops. Some of you are killing your drive because you're receiving your compliments. You get them real early. You can't wait to get them. You post a little status on social media. You get 33 likes. Push yourself back 33 days. You know I ain't lying. That's just how it works. It's just how it works. It's called dopamine. Those likes, that compliment, that's dopamine. Dopamine is the form of happiness that says, whoo, this is so good, I want some more. That's that happiness that devours relationships. You got you a good woman, now I got to have 5 of them. That's that happiness that devours relationships. The one, she ain't good enough, let me go get 6 more. That's the wrong kind of, there's serotonin. That happiness, that says, this is so good, I don't need nothing else. Oh, I just broke it down, Bastine. I'm going to do it again. When you get them compliments, ooh, I need some more compliments. So what you do is you start faking harvest. You stop getting dirty and you start posting about what you're going to do. When you actually complete the goal, that's serotonin. If I had to put it in a church way, that's joy. And joy don't come from my approval. Joy comes from somewhat higher. You hear me? So it had this mind. I understood it was ownership. Then that faith came in. Here's what I realized, Ken. I was praying just so I could procrastinate. I need somebody to write that down. I was using prayer as procrastination. I couldn't wait to do it too, Darryl. Couldn't wait. I couldn't wait to pray so I could put it in the God that I believe's hand. So if it didn't work, I could blame him. Come on. Is it too real? Because I'm only going to get worse. I'm only going to get more truthful. I couldn't wait to say, you know what? It's just not my season. It's just not in his will. I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait to get the blame off me. Because if I messed up, I needed you to know it wasn't my fault. Something up their fault. And so I couldn't wait to pray. Some of you right now, I'm looking at the chat. Some of you, you're doing that right now. Let me explain how faith works. You only need faith in 2 spots. You need faith to get started. And you need faith to keep going. I'll say it again. You need faith to get started. You need faith to keep going. You do not need faith to be blessed. Because once you get started, you're already blessed. I just told you, when you plant the seed, you automatically schedule the harvest. I'm trying to help somebody up in here. Once you get started, you're already blessed. Ain't nobody else moving but you. And if you move long enough, you're going to be all by yourself. I got a few top ranked podcasts. One in particular, me and Tempest do. It's top ranked, start brick by brick. We started podcasts back in 2014, right when it first started. You know why I got top ranked? Not because we was good, because everybody around us quit. They didn't have 5 years of content. I literally outlasted my way to the top. I wish I had some folk. If you just keep going, you're going to outlast people to your breakthrough. You need faith to get started. and then you need faith to get going. I'm going to break it down even more. You need faith to get started because it reminds me of a book called Peaks and Valleys by Spencer Johnson. Spencer Johnson, y'all, wrote about this young man in the valley. Carol, this young man had valley friends, a valley girlfriend, and very valley parents. One day, Bastine, he looked up to the peak. Said, I want to go to the peak. And wouldn't you know it, Bastine, them valley folk told him how he can't get to the peak? They ain't never been. Let me just take a sidebar right here. Folk who ain't never did it will tell you how you ain't gonna do it. I know I got degrees, but allow me that colloquialism just for a moment, please. Folks who ain't never did it can't wait to tell you how you ain't gonna do it. That's what them valley folk did to him. Then he dismissed those valleys. That's where he used faith. I'm going to the top. Oof. I'm going to the mountain. I'm on my way. Faith. Then he didn't need faith no more, Jerome. He climbed up. He was excited. He saw the trail before him. Excited. Got beat up a little bit, but he was on that adrenaline. It's all good. And then the trail went out. Because now he went where others didn't have the courage to go. Of every mountain, there's a trail. Until you go past the average person's might. With no trail no more, the book says he wanted to quit, and that's where he needed faith again. When there's no trail, you got to have faith one more time to keep going. Can I make it personal? When your family's saying how you can't do it, when they still trying to keep you the 14-year-old angry kid you used to be, now you 43. I'm talking to some real folk now. That is when you need to keep more faith. Let me pause right here. James, Earl Jackson, unmute your mic for me.
Yo, what's up, Antonio?
Tell us what you got, man. Tell us how this is hitting you.
Okay, so with me, I feel like right before I met you, there was like the silver lining around August 2018. Before I met you, that whole year, literally August 2017 to 18, it was a whole year of trying to not work hard, or not work hard, but make money another way other than working hard, because I was working hard for a company, and I felt like that whole time I'm like, yo, I gotta figure out how to do this for myself. And eventually I got promoted at that company, and I was like, okay, fine, I'm not gonna do it my own dream yet. I just got promoted. I'm gonna climb this ladder and see how it works. And I would always like pray and before I go to work. And I was like, man, this is God moving in my life. And then like I also like 6 months later, I end up leaving the job on my own with no, you know how they say don't quit a job until you get another one? That wasn't my philosophy. It was like, I can't start my dream until I set myself up. If I quit this job and I don't have no other income, that means I got to make something happen or die, basically. And I feel like,
or die.
Yeah, around that time, I died too. I died hard. And then, like, it was to me, I'm blessed and highly favored because I met you at the right time and then you hooked me up with a job. So it was like the fact that my thing didn't work out and this kind of worked out still is just, I'm seeing it like blessings and curses, and I'm not going to like call it either one because I'm just going through it. And as long as I'm breathing, and I feel like everything's going to work itself out. So it's like, that's my silver lining. That's why it's hitting so hard. Like you mentioning quitting, like giving up. I don't feel like I've given up. And before I even get further on that, let me tell you this. So I was with my stepbrother, who was also going to be my social media, internet marketing agency business partner. That's what all 2017 and 18 was about for me. We didn't figure it out, and we ended up both going back to work. And I seen him this Sunday, and when I spoke to him, we both said this. We had this look in our eye. Everything's good except for one thing. It's not what we've been doing. It's the one thing we have not been doing, which was the social media, Facebook, Just honestly, everything you do for your business was what I was learning for my own personal business and for other small businesses to help them with stuff like how do you upload a picture on Facebook? Like we were gonna make courses on that for the older generation, and we stopped. And because of that, here we are, like kind of not at square one, but just floating around with all that knowledge. You said this just now. All this knowledge, and what do you do with it? And when you said that, of course, in my mind, it's like what got me here won't get me there. I have all this knowledge. I need to learn to apply it. And that's just where I'm at. That's why I feel it so heavy. And I love it because now I'm sitting here like I'm off the job, but I'm still side hustling. And with all this goodness, it's still like what you said. Only way you make money is hard work. The light in it for me with the hard work, because believe me, I don't like working hard, but I know it's not that I don't like working hard. It's just working hard. I prefer to work hard at something I love to do. In the meantime, say that again.
No, I'm just giving you amen.
Okay, and with that being said, like working this way is me kind of just going on my own knowledge. Either one or two things. It's either faith, and I'm just working through it because I'm not sad about it, not mad or pissed off or anything. It's just one of those. I gotta get it how I get it, and I see it's not as bad as I think it is. And it's also a good thing because I'm learning, I guess, some responsibility in the process of doing it.
Good stuff. Good stuff, brother. So appreciate you.
Yes, sir. There's a lot more I can say. That's 27 on September 19th, 2019.
You ain't even 27
09. No, not yet. All those nines in that.
Let me tell you. Boy, you's a wise young man. At 26, yeah, we don't even want to talk about me at 26. It'll mess up the whole phone call. It'll mess up the whole phone call. MOD, get ready. I'm coming to you. I want to break this down. 2 places you need faith. 2 places. 2. Uno, dos. Get started to keep going. Here's the problem. Problem is you don't know how to receive in the middle because you're so focused on getting to the end. I got to talk about it real quick. There's a sacred text. In this sacred text, it says, you know what, Dr. David Wells? I'll open up you a window and I'll pull you out just one blessing, just one of them, and you won't have room to receive. I want y'all to think about this for a second, this sacred text. It don't take no faith to find the doggone window and stand under it. That's not a faith battle. That's a moving battle to find the right place. Let me say it the right way. Find where the flow of blessings are and stand there. Some of y'all don't even understand. It don't take faith to be blessed. And what I want you to do is I want you to just throw that thought process out the window. Because the only time you're going to get blessed is when you're full of faith. But can I help you out for a little bit? Another sacred text said it this way. This carpenter guy from Nazareth showed up when people were faithless in a room, locked. And if your blessings are only tied up when you're full of faith, then your God can't show up when you don't have it. I'm just trying to help somebody, Liddell. I ain't trying to bother nobody. I'm just saying. Tippett said it best. I want us to stop blaming God/universe because we don't want to move. We choose to remain. The window is open. How do we know the window's open? Because you planted the seed. The moment you planted the seed, you opened the window. Now, it was your job not to quit. Every great teacher that's ever come before you has always said, you know what, Dante? Greatest failure is quitting. Get ready, Ebony. Coming to you in about 20 seconds. Heed this fair warning. You've been facing all wrong. You thought faith was something you had to only activate. That's part of faith. Faith is also out there trying to find you, especially if you relax. I'll keep breaking it down. Ebony, let me hear from you.
Okay, so it's funny that you're talking about receiving, because today I was on the bus and I was looking out the window and I'm watching us pull up to somebody that's waiting for the bus, but she's not where she's supposed to be when she's waiting for the bus. She's kind of standing at the back. So I'm just, as I'm watching, I'm thinking, of course, she's gonna, take a couple steps in front, because she knows that when the bus comes, sometimes they pass you by if you're not in the stance of, you're trying to take the bus. And so we're there, and she's kind of walking, but kind of not. She has her hands crossed, and she's just standing there as the bus gets closer. And we literally passed her by. And after we passed her by, she's like, "What's going on?" In my head, I'm like, you weren't standing like you wanted to get on the bus. And I started to think to myself about myself when it comes to receiving or missing blessings and stuff. And I'm like, what stance am I in when it comes to what I'm looking to manifest in my life? And as I reflected on that, I was like, it brought me to be aware that I'm at a place where you're going to have to tell me how or what it's about then, and what to do if it's not about having faith. Because I get this feeling, and I just became aware of it, this feeling, for example, if I'm trying to manifest money, and every time I think about it, I get this feeling like, oh, can it really happen?
Yeah.
So I'm like, of course, for me, I'm thinking I need faith, because something in me doesn't believe that I can do it. So if I'm moving and doing what I need to do, but I don't have the faith, then what? Then I'm kind of confused.
I got you. Say no more. Get ready, Robin. Coming to you next. Faith is not what you've been taught it's been. Faith's not even spiritualized. You happen to grow up in church, so it's been spiritualized for you. Faith is the ability to be dumb enough to just keep moving forward, and to be smart enough to look backwards and remember the reason you're moving forward. You understand what I'm saying? But we done got too doggone smart. We know all the ways stuff ain't gonna work. And when we need to just stop being smart and get real dumb and just move. Just move. And then when your legs get broken, when you can't think straight, when your heart is broken, and you know all the ways not to move forward, that's when you got to look back. That's when you got to look back and go, I got out of this one. I can get out of this one. I got out of that one. I got out of jail. I can get out these credit card bills. Wish I had some drug addicts on the phone. I got off these drugs. I can get out of debt. Two places. Dumb enough to keep moving forward. Right? Yeah, I think you need faith in two places. To keep going, to get started, and to keep going. Get started, you got to be dumb enough to move. How many of y'all are overthinkers with your smart selves? Mm-hmm. And you never move. You never ever move. Because you done postulate all the reasons why not to move. Dumb it down and just move forward. I'll give you a scientific reason why you should move forward. Newton's first law of motion says, an object at rest will remain at rest until an unbalanced force acts upon it. Now you can inverse that law now. That just means the opposite side of it, okay? If there's a left, there's a right, yes? Okay. If an object at rest will remain at rest till an unbalanced force acts upon it, also known as inertia, it also means if an object is in motion, that object will remain in motion as long as an unbalanced force acts upon it. Dumb people always move forward. That's why C students run the world. A students work for them. The goal is to stop trying to be so right and be so face. That's how you get started. How you keep moving is you go, the hill is too much. My hands, they hurt. And then right there, you look back and say, but I got this high. I can keep going. We've made faith too complex. You don't have to pray no lofty words. You don't have to be the right color. There ain't no right color. Ain't no right side of the tracks. No right gender. You are, and that's enough. And anyone who can't handle that, every sacred text, every great philosopher, every great teacher has said the same thing. And since you're in church, MOD, I want to say this to you in a church perspective. Don't let your church confuse you of what the Bible actually says. See, we get so lofty in church, we love the Bible, hate the Lord. You understand what I'm saying? We teach you one thing, and that ain't got nothing to do with the thing. And we didn't get messed up. Because you can't be saved and racist. Can't do it. You can't do it. You can't. You can't. In your religion, can't be saved and hate gays. Can't do it. Can I push it further? You can't be saved and have low self-esteem. Can't have both. If you're going to have faith, you can't have anything else. This is why faith is so precious. Get ready, Robin, 20 seconds. This is why faith is so precious. Because you can't have faith and have something that's not of faith. But we are just us. So we always have stuff that's not of faith. And faith still show up, don't it? But if you convince yourself the only time faith is going to show up is when you perfect, you're only going to win when you're perfect. Faith will show up to all of you. Actually, let me say it the way this text says. My faith. So your faith will show up to you as long as you're showing up for you. It's called the law of accelerating acceleration. It means the faster you go to your dreams, the faster your dreams come to you. Robin, let me hear from you. Then Michelle Washington next.
Man, that was deep right there. But I'm gonna push it back just a tiny bit. I just want to say, I remember when I first walked in and I met you face to face. Last year around this time, it could have been about in March, it was somewhere between March and April. Met you at the Les Brown conference, and we had a conversation at the conference. And we was having a conversation, and in the group, and I'm like, what do I do? And you said, you're not going to want to hear this. And I'm like, well, go on ahead. Like, I've been hit so much with a lot of constructive criticism. So I'm like, well, go ahead. You can't tell me nothing I've never heard before. I ain't going to cry in front of everybody. And you said, quit your job. And in that, with you telling me to quit my job, it maybe was about 5 or 10 minutes. And I realized what I heard by what I was telling you. I heard me defending something that wasn't serving me. And when you said quit your job, it was like Robin, you're defending what doesn't serve you. I said I love what I do. It's a passion of mine. But at this point in time and moment in my life, it's not serving me. And it's not that, it's maybe I just didn't know how to get it to serve me. And so I needed the information that you had. Now I'm gonna tell you this. I went home, had the information, knew how to log in and everything, and I didn't do it. I'm gonna tell y'all, I didn't do it. I sat still for almost 6 months. And I remember when I first got on, I was like, I don't understand what's going on here. I don't get this, because I'm a full-time hairstylist. I'm no business. I ain't never been really behind no computer or nothing. So I don't understand all of this lingo they talking. So I never got back on. So I'm like, okay, 6 months later, I kind of get on, and I get on maybe once a week, you know, not show my face like I'm doing now. Maybe, you know, and that maybe went on for about 3 months or so. So here we are, December, and I kind of really start engaging a little bit more. I started honing into my coaching call and talking with Brian and talking with you, and just like, hey, I'm showing up, but I'm showing up for myself. But I realized also a year or two ago, I said yes to my life and what I wanted. And when I got introduced to you and I got introduced to the ATS Business University, I didn't understand that this was God saying, well, you said yes, so I'm going to give you your answer. And I was refusing the answer because I'm like, my answer shouldn't look like that, because that's not what I'm going towards. And I didn't want to believe when God said, yes, it is. You said that you want to be a speaker. You said you want to be a motivational speaker. This is the answer. I'm not going to send you to a hair class to be a motivational speaker. And that's what I was looking for. So I tell, it's just like this. We can't go to Popeyes looking for an extra large pizza. It's never going to happen. And we do this all the time. So within the last couple of weeks, I'm going to speed up. So last couple of weeks, Mr. Dudley from the Dudley Hair Product came in my salon as he always does, and we're having conversation as we always do. And I've been knowing Mr. Dudley like face to face personally for the past 10 years or so. This one time he comes in and we're having conversation. He says, you know what? I have a meeting every second Sunday, every second Monday of the month. I want you there. They have to hear what you have to say. So I'm saying all this to say that at first I didn't grasp the concept. I didn't understand what was going on. And for anyone who is new here, you may not understand what's going on, but don't do what I did. Don't get on here and listen to what you're hearing and say, I don't understand, but then you move slow. Someone told me a couple years ago, again, is that if Warren Buffett came to you, even though you don't know him and you don't know anything of him, but you hear that this man has some great stuff for you, he comes to you with a billionaire idea and he says, just link arms with me. Don't ask no questions. Just link arms, you'll find the rest out. So if I would have listened from day one, I know that I would be so much further in my thinking, the way I do business. I would I'll be so much further if I would have said, let me just link in arms with everyone and figure this thing out, because the answers are already there. God already gave us the answers. We have the problems, we have the answers. We just have to walk into the answer. That's what I have. So right now, starting next month, I will be sitting down with Mr. Dudley and his team of people and speaking with them. And it came from me being on the calls and just having the faith and trusting and doing what needs to be done, whether if I understand it or not.
Everybody's clapping for you, Robin. Everybody's clapping for you. Good job. Good job.
Thank you, guys.
Good job. Yes, yes, yes.
Every last single one of you that's a part of this ATS Business University, y'all have helped me unscramble all this. They say a confused mind is a broke mind. And that's exactly where I was. So I'm having some clear organization going on up in here.
Thank you.
That's it. So y'all watch this here. I'm finna get Michelle Washington next, but I'm finna call on my friend Donna Ray. I want to show y'all something. I surmise from this book, you need faith in two places: get started and to keep going. Donna Ray, unmute your mic for us, because y'all don't know. Y'all don't understand. You just, you don't understand. I don't mean as disrespect. You just don't understand her story. And she is literally in her story right now. Donna,
yes, I
in your
am.
own way, in your own, I'm not even going to lead you. Can you just tell us what happened and then what happened today?
Listen, I popped in with you guys yesterday, and I had been tapped out for a while because I was struggling. And yesterday, I knew that I needed all your energy. And I know that you all came into my life at a time that I desperately needed you. I may not have been there, but like you said, Antonio, yesterday, you said, I am watching every one of you. And I have been watching every one of you because for me, it was life or death. And
literally, that's not a metaphor. That's, well,
no,
before you get to yesterday, tell us what happened almost a year ago.
October 15th, I sat at Florida Transplant Hospital and was told by a transplant team that I had 12 to 18 months to live because I had pulmonary fibrosis and it was advanced. Sorry, my dogs are.
That's all right. That's all right. They praise it. They praise it. It's all good.
Yeah, they're happy tonight. So I was told I had 12 to 18 months to live unless I got a double lung transplant. But here's the caveat. A double lung transplant is not like other transplants. I mean, the mortality rate is really bad. And I walked out of there that day and I set my mind to the fact that I absolutely was going to be that small percentage that made it beyond a 5-year mark. I set my mind to it. I intended it. And at the 3 months, I was on oxygen full time. Yep. I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't walk to the mailbox.
You attended this class a few times on oxygen.
I did. I was spent. But I knew that I would have a future, and I needed to continue to work towards it. Brandy, stop. So at the 3-month mark, January 21st, my levels were even. Now, what I didn't tell them was that I cheated, and I went to Tampa and I did experimental stem cell treatment. And you know, I had my pulmonologist and my rheumatologist. I told them I was going to do it, and my rheumatologist says that stuff's crap. Well, let me tell you, don't let somebody else's opinion become your reality. Les says it all the time. Do not let somebody else's opinion become your reality. So I decided not to tell the transplant team, and I asked them, would it disqualify me if I do this? And you know what they said? No, but you better do your research because it's not covered by insurance and it's expensive and it might not work. Well, guess what? It cost me $10,000 that I didn't want to spend, but guess what? Is that $10,000 better served healing me or in my grave? So I said yes now, and I'll figure it out later. So I did the stem cell, and my level stayed the same.
And she was like devastated. So
okay, keep going. We got it.
My level stayed the same. So they said, we don't know why this is, but we'll see you in 3 months. So today was 6-month mark, and I'm supposed to be dead in another 6 months without a transplant. So I go today, and I do all my tests, and they gave me my test results to take over to the transplant. And I had the last 2 series of test results, and I'm looking at the numbers, and they don't mean anything to me except they had dramatic change. And I text my son and my significant other, and I said, I am either in big trouble or my miracle just happened. And I went into that appointment, and guess what? My miracle happened. They said, we are closing the file on you. We have no explanation.
How about y'all shut
We
up?
don't see this happen, but you are a miracle.
Look at
So
that.
here I am.
Now, Donna, go ahead.
Because I'm back, and I'm ready
Watch yourself.
for the next version of myself. And I'm
I
healthy.
know that's
And
right.
I'm
There.
happy.
I know that's right.
And I'm going to
Look.
Vegas in the morning.
Okay, that's what I'm going to get you to bring up. You said yesterday, she said the craziest thing yesterday. No test results, 24 hours from them. She got on this call, and Donna, what did you say after you told us, I got to go to Dr. Barr? You dropped the bomb on all of us about Vegas. What you?
Oh, what, Vegas?
Yeah.
About Vegas. I said, I need to go there because my odds are really good right now.
I want y'all to pay
Because
attention to this face. There you go. I want y'all to pay attention to this. She showed up yesterday and said, I intend to go to Vegas tomorrow because my odds are good.
Absolutely.
This is before she got the result. So y'all not hearing me. She didn't get the result and then shout. She shouted and created the result. Come on, y'all. Somebody. Come on.
I sure
And this
did.
is what I'm trying to get across to you. Come on, everybody. Unmute your mic and you give Donna all the love that
Yes.
you can.
Yes. Donna.
Congratulations.
Pour on Donna. She should be dead and gone.
Another life
Donna.
That's right.
Go, Donna.
Praise God.
Bless
That's
you.
it. That's what I'm talking about.
I tagged you today and Tempest
You sure
and
did.
Grace because guess what? It is you all who literally, they say, if you want to accomplish big things, surround people that will help you do that. And I may not have been in on your calls, but I was watching and hearing every one of you. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart.
We
and
thank you as well.
I got in my car and I bawled the whole way home. Just tears.
You know what,
joy.
Donald? Let me do something inappropriate that is also appropriate. Tell us the name of your book and then drop in the chat the link so we can go buy your book.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you going to beat death, we going to lay down our credit card numbers to support you.
And it's called Don't Tell Me I Can't. Don't tell me I can't. Oh, and guess what? I am now already talked to the publisher and I'm starting my next book. Guess what the title is?
What's that?
Invincible.
That's it.
Invincible.
Now I want y'all to look. She wrote "Don't Tell Me I Can't" while dying, and didn't even know she was.
Yeah.
And then found out before the book came out. Found out she's gonna die, and she got up and pushed the book. Don't you tell me faith shows up when you full of health. You see what I'm trying to tell you? I'm trying to tell you that if you think faith is what we taught you in the church or wherever you got, mosque or whatever, if faith only shows up when you good, that ain't faith. That ain't faith. Right there in the chat, Deanna looked at it. That's her book. We don't make no money from this. But I'm gonna tell you, we do group economics around here in the ATS Business University. And if one of us is in trouble, all of us is in trouble. And if one of us survives, all of us shows our appreciation and we go buy that book. Donna, we love you.
Eternally grateful to have met all of you. It is my
That's
pleasure.
it. Thank you very much, Donna. We sure appreciate you. Thank you very much. I'm gonna mute your mic. That's it. The job. Yeah. You want to say something, Law?
Hey, what's up, guys? How's everyone doing? I don't usually make it to this call. I'm usually working, but thank you for that word, Donna. It means a lot to me because I'm currently dealing with my father who has pulmonary issues. He has
look at that.
COPD, and he's on oxygen 24 hours a day. And it's only me that's running back and forth to the doctors with him, to the hospital with him. If this goes wrong, he's in a month for hospital, this and that. So you sharing your story, and I did see you on a couple of trainings with the cannula in your nose, and I think you have some type of oxygen-related condition. So for you to share your story, and one of the things that I'm always motivating my father is that it's going to be okay. This is your reality right now, but it's not like that forever. And you just got to continue to push through. So I appreciate that. That really hit home for me. So that just tells me that I was meant to get on this call tonight, and it doesn't happen often. So that just really set in my spirit, because it's tough dealing with someone who has oxygen related.
Inbox me. I will talk to your dad anytime.
Thank you, because he needs that.
Come on, y'all. Come on. Did y'all hear what she said?
I feel like breaking down right now because I'm the only one that's dealing with it, and it's a lot. It's a lot.
Come on, y'all. You can't script it better. Come on. Yeah. She said, I'll talk to your dad anytime.
Yeah, he needs someone else that goes through it, you know?
That's right. That's right. And Donna's pain wasn't for her. It was for your dad.
Right.
Antonio?
Yes. Who was that? That's Talisha?
Yes, this is Talisha.
Go ahead. Let me hear it. Get ready, Michelle. I'm coming your way.
Donna, I want to say thank you for that. And I'm glad I was texted to get on this call, because I was going through some things earlier and speaking to someone and about my boot camp that I'm trying to do. And they was like, Talisha, you're not going to get pulled out in 30 days. It's not going to happen. That takes months to get done, and da-da-da-da. And then we got on God, and the person told me, they was like, oh, you got to think, you got to be realistic about this. And I start questioning, I say, realistic? And then so I text Tempest, I said, I was told to be realistic about this situation of pulling this boot camp off. And I said, the guy told me that God is realistic. And Tempest texted me and said, if God was realistic, would there be miracles? And I was just like, wow. And so to hear after that, after I had talked to Tempest, I got on Facebook and I saw your story, the one you just told. And then you get to share it again. I was like, you know what, this is a message. This you have to have faith and stop living this realistic life of any dream that you're trying to do. You can't be realistic living your dreams. You have to have faith and believe that God can pull anything off. And like y'all say, you have to stop surrounding yourself around people who don't believe that miracles can happen. So thank you so much, Donna. And once you shared your story, I shared it with somebody else, because there are, it's not the same thing. They have, I think the lady was having breast cancer, but it's with his family, one of his family members. And I said, look, I don't care what it is. It's cancer. And if it worked for her, it can work. It can work for anyone. So I told him, listen to it. It's a blessing. And she's sharing her light to uplift like Law. He's not going through it, but his family member is going through it. And when your family member is going through something, you're feeling it too. So I told him, here's something to uplift you while your sister is going through this. So thank you, Donna.
So glad you said something, Talisha. Thank you for saying something. Donna, we love you. You just inspired a whole nation. Good job. I want you to pay attention to Donna's story. And I want you to pay attention to what I've been saying. Donna said she had to drop $10,000. Yeah, that's right. This is more than education. She had dropped $10,000. It took faith for her to say, let me drop this $10,000. Her other brain said, nah, I'm not going to do that. You need to drop this $10,000. She had to have faith to overcome that small mind. Once she dropped it, she scheduled today's conversation. Let's say it again. When she did this 3 to 6 months ago, she scheduled the talk, the breakthrough, the Vegas trip when she dropped the 10,000. Now, the next part where she had to have faith at was to show up to the biggest doctor's appointment of her life. Ain't no way in the world she just went to sleep like, okay, this isn't big. Man, it was huge. Now she had to have faith to keep showing up to doctor's appointments, to keep saying good morning. You know, when you're having a bad day, good morning is a tough phrase. Come on now. Try to say good morning to your kids when you're dying. Mom, I'm just checking on you. She got to have faith to go, thank you, baby, I'm feeling good. But nowhere in what I'm saying does she have to have faith to receive the blessing she got today. You've been taught you need faith to receive a blessing. No, you don't. You need to relax to receive a blessing. You need to allow. It took faith to drop the 10,000. It took faith to keep going when good mornings wasn't so good. But it did not take faith to let that miracle show up. She activated the miracle when she dropped the 10,000. And before she dropped the 10,000, she activated the miracle when she got the bad news and says, I intend to be that little bitty percentage. And if you don't get that, it's all right. We're going to keep going. Donna, thank you very much. Michelle, I just feel like you got something to say by now.
Hello, everybody. You know what? I'm sick of crying on this call. Y'all about to stop. But let me tell you, last night, I was just going to say a little bit, but thank you, Donna. I'd like to get your number so my daughter can talk to you. I got a phone call last night. My baby girl said, Mama, get dressed. It was storming. It was raining cats and dogs. My daughter had a relapse, couldn't breathe. The ambulance was called. We had to go get her. She's okay now, but I'm telling you all, I hate driving in the rain. Can have see. It's like God just moved. I mean, we talking about 6 o'clock traffic. It's like God just moved the cars out of the way. We had a clear shot there and a clear shot back. I just want to say God gave me this, and he just gives me an epiphany every time I get on this call. God told me, when you know your worth, no one can discount you. That's for somebody, but it was meant for me. So I say that to say, these calls are life-changing. Again, Donna, I thank you for your test and your testimony, because you have blessed, I know 3 people, me included. And again, I want your information so my daughter can just have a prayer partner, because I don't know what it is not to be able to breathe. I know what it is to almost die, but I don't know what it is not to be able to breathe. And when my child can't breathe, it's just like I'm fighting to breathe with her. But like I said, we got something here, and we just have to keep going and sharing it, because this is life-changing. Thank you all for allowing me to share.
Oh, yeah, this is yours to share. We sure appreciate you. Donna, do me a favor. I'm mute your mic one more time. She dropped her number in chat. Should you need someone to call on your loved one and encourage them, I believe Donna's qualified. You got more qualifications than us at this point. Donna, do me a favor. I want you to give us, you're new now. You've been through the fire. You've been purified. You died and came back. The world don't look the same
Exactly
no
the
more.
way I feel.
Yes, the world don't look the same no more. And I know it because I almost died 3 or 4 years ago. That's why I'm different. I want you to tell us from your perspective. No, actually, let me do it this way. I want you to give us a word of encouragement on faith and what you think we need to do to apply the kind of faith you applied to get over to your breakthrough. Can we get that?
Yes, first and foremost, you need to love yourself enough to believe that anything is possible. Get rid of the opinions of others, because I have a plethora of medical people who are just, they're so self-serving because they're making money off of my tragedy. And guess what? Now I intend to break them. So believe in yourself, love yourself enough not to listen to anyone who tells you that it's not possible. Because my God, I need to live. I have so much left to do on this earth. People need me for this message in itself. I mean, I need to be able to give other people the same hope that I gave myself. And my blessings will become other people's blessings, because I am absolutely, overwhelmingly grateful that I would have the opportunity to help somebody else through the most difficult time in their life, to be the miracle that I am right now.
Beautiful. What I've done, I was trying to put notes out there of everything you said. I went and I posted it in this order. I found listening. I'm sorry, I read wrong. First, love yourself. Get rid of the opinions of others. Don't let people make money off your tragedies. People need you. Give other people the same hope. My blessings will become other people's blessings. I love it. I love it. One chat said, I found listening to doctors just depress you, but listen to yourself pushes you past the difficulties. Donna, thank you very much. It's wonderful. I'm excited, and you're just a blessing, not even in disguise no more.
Listen, you'll chuckle about this, because I was having huge anxiety, and I'm sitting outside the transplant hospital waiting for them to call me up, and I'm chatting with my son on text, and I told him, I said, my sign just drove by. I know that this is going to be good news, because my 2016 white Corvette that I want so desperately just sat outside the window.
Love it. Love it. Thank you, Donna. Sure appreciate you. Sure appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen.
I got to get to bed. I got to be to Vegas in the morning.
Yes, you do. We sure appreciate you, Donna. Go ahead and get out of here
I love you
without
all.
feeling bad.
God bless you.
Love you too. Okay. Bye-bye. Now, and that's actually perfect transition, because I want to tell you the next part. There it is. We were talking about my faith, right? My faith. Now, in the my faithness of things, hold on real quick. Can't see whose mic that is. Boom, that'll take care of it. Okay, in the my faithness of things, there is a thing that comes next. It says, my faith is so strong that I can now see this money before my eyes. I can hold it in my hands. I want you to pay attention to that. Don't have it before his eyes. It's not in his hand, but it's before his eyes, and it's in his hand. One more time, Everdy. I think a few more people gonna get it. My faith is so strong that I can see it before my eyes. I can see it in my hand. I want all of you now to pay attention what I'm about to say about manifestation. All of y'all, most likely, you have manifestation incorrectly. Not that you're trying to. People like me just taught you the wrong way. Manifestation means something that appeared, right? And here you are, you thinking, I gotta concentrate, I gotta focus for it to appear. It's already here. It's already created. Everything has been created ex nihilo, Latin word, out of nothing. It's here. And you don't have to create it. You have to allow it. I'll say it again. Donna's healing, already here. Your financially free freedom number, already here. The breakthrough your business is looking for, it's here. Because you couldn't think about it if it wasn't. The way it works is this thing and this thing, this Gatorade bottle, Dara don't want me to be having right now. Here they are existing. Now, this, actually, let me do it a different way. Let's get two of the same things. Two iPhones, okay? Two iPhones, same thing. This is the iPhone in the future. I'll make you know it because I'm taking it off. You can't see it now. This is you. And here you are, and man, I've got to create. This is the iPhone 10. This is the iPhone XR or whatever it is. Who knows? Okay, it's just above the 10. 10 and above the 10, whatever. Okay? I've got to get the new one. I've got to get the new one. I'm going to manifest it. No! It's already here. It already exists. How can you think about something that doesn't exist? So you never really thought about what you'd be saying. Thoughts have energy. But the energy has to be coming from somewhere and has to be going somewhere. If you think it, it means the equivalency of your thought already exists. If it didn't, you couldn't think it. Don't worry, I'll repeat it, break it down even more. If you're thinking of a dollar amount, it means the dollar amount already exists. Why are you spending all this energy creating instead of allowing? I'm trying to make it work for you. It already exists. You can't have a single thought of something that does not exist. If you want to run for president and be the president of the United States, that possibility exists. Because if it didn't, you couldn't think it. I take you back to Earl Nightingale. Once a man thinks, he already has it. He has no choice because the universe says it that way. It's the truth. It is the truth. If you think it, it already exists. Because you can't have a magnet without another one. If you go left, you automatically create right. Even if you only wanted to go left, your leftness takes you right. In your leftness, you're leaving behind rightness. In your upness, you're leaving behind downness. There's a great philosopher preacher. His name is T.D. Jakes. Maybe you heard of him. He says it this way. The more you chase your dreams, it's also the more you distance yourself from your past. You don't have to distance yourself from your past. It's energy in the wrong direction. All you got to do is chase your dreams. And in the authority of chasing your dreams is also the authority of distance yourself from the past. Manifestation works this way. You don't have to create nothing. It's already here. All you have to do is vibrate at its frequency. This is why Jim Rome says, if you want $1 million, it's best you become a millionaire. The $1 million already exists. What he's saying is now you need to vibrate at a millionaire. You can't be a millionaire and have a bad diet. Come on. He said, "Why I sound just like him." You can't be a millionaire and hang with losers at the same time.
Hey, Antonio, can I speak on that?
Sure can.
Okay. First of all, I do want to mention this. I didn't even type it fast enough, but like your voices when you do the Earl Nightingale and the Jim Ron, I love it because I listen to those dudes like every morning. I'll go through. I listen like this is my lineup in the morning. There's Jim Ron, Tony Robbins, Antonio T. Smith, and Earl Nightingale. All those guys are in my playlist. That's like my new playlist for music nowadays. But
you got me in some good company, man. I sure appreciate you.
I love when you speak on this, like the millionaire. You can create a course on millionaire habits because that's where I feel I'm lost. Like I walk around with no money in my pockets, yet in my heart I am wealthy. The way I go about the day is like I'm wealthy and I don't have the money yet. That yet is like I don't have it yet because I'm developing myself to be able to handle what comes with having that money that I so-called want or need or however that works. And it's just like it comes back to the habits. I always see myself like I'll get some money and then I'll think like what would a millionaire do with this? Even if it was like I always 10x what I really if I had $30, I think, oh man, if this was $300, what would a millionaire do? How to invest, or what's the best way to get an ROI on return? I think of things like that with little money. And
you're already there, buddy.
Just yesterday, I was in the Understanding Sales training call, and when I was looking at that, I realized I need to budget my money. And that's just one of the parts where like budgeting and the millionaire habits would be something to talk about in a class for myself and for everyone else who would need something like that done or help with those topics.
Good. That's good stuff, man. I appreciate the idea. I'm definitely going to do that. I'm going to call on a few people real quick, and then someone asked me, how do you allow? So I'm going to answer that question as well. In this order, I want to call on Vastine, and then Robin, then Evo D.
Thank you, Antonio. I wrote this down about an hour ago, and this is a quote from Gandhi, and this has been, these words inspire me constantly. And it goes, there are people in the world so hungry that God cannot appear to them except in the form of bread. And when I read that quote years ago, if that's all God is bread to people, you know, if that's not the poverty mindset, you know, if that's all God is just bread. In my capacity in my family, I stopped blessing the food at reunions and so forth because, you know, it's, oh, come bless the food. No, let Jack do it. Let Susan do it. Because we fall into the trap of allowing our blessings to only, they're so minimal to just, we've made God just a God of bread. And there's so much more. God is so much more. And there are times I've awakened, whether I was in Egypt or South Africa or Australia, and I say, how did I get here? And God is much more than rainbow bread. That's all I'm going to say. And thank you, Antonio, for blessing us. Thank you. Thank you.
Wait. Repeat the author and the quote one more time. Oh my
This
God.
is Gandhi. There are people in the world so hungry that God cannot appear to them except in the form of bread.
I'm blown away. Oh, wow. And then Vastine said, we just turning God to the God of bread. My goodness. Okay, before I call on Robert and MOD, I need somebody who heard that and mine is equally blown like mine to say something. If somebody got something to say right around here, my goodness.
I'll say something.
Okay.
Man, oh man, Vastin always got something powerful to say. I just be waiting for it.
Yeah.
You see that intensity in his face, and you just like, yeah, I know he's gonna say something. And then he lay out some bread. Boy, he telling y'all to stop being pigeons. Okay, stop looking for that bread. Get it together, okay? Thank you, Vastin. I appreciate that.
Oh, we done turned ourselves into pigeons. Oh man, you so ain't lying. Y'all, we gotta hunger after something more than bread. Oh my God. That was good. I'm never gonna forget that quote ever. I can't wait to say it on stage. I am just absolutely blown away. Robin, I believe you next. Wow.
Because man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of God.
God, Jerome.
There's other words besides bread up in that ear. I ain't mad at you.
The fact that he just said that about the pigeons, I'm like, I can relate to that because growing up in New York City is full of pigeons everywhere.
All we do is feed the pigeons.
Yes, but I wanted to say this. I realized I missed a very important part out of my story, was that I had already stated that I was a speaker before I started acting and being more in alignment of me being a speaker. So just like I'm learning how to become better with names. Using my words, but I'm learning how to become better with names. But the other lady who was on, and she was talking about her already claiming her being healed and being well before the doctors would have come out and say, hey, you're doing better, and like, how is this happening for you? So you have to be already in receiving of it. It has to already exist to you inside before it exists on the outside. So what I'm seeing is like, once I received that I was a speaker, I stopped acting. When I got back, when I got back in March, April, I stopped acting like a hairstylist and I started acting like a speaker. And that right there, it's like it shift, and I felt everything shift. And so when things started to turn for me, when, my father passed away, when the girls in the salon was leaving, when things were just happening, I said, okay. I was okay. And I look back and I'm like, wow, how could you have been so calm about that? Because I already received it a long time ago before all of the shift happened. But it's the point of receiving it before it happens. So you already got to be there before it actually shows its face in the universe. So I had to make sure I mentioned that to y'all.
That's good stuff. We sure appreciate you. MOD?
So honestly, I'm so grateful because I feel like I had a breakthrough moment on this call.
Yay.
I am so damn stubborn. I do not listen to God. He's been trying to get this message through to me like for the past couple of weeks now to just keep moving. And it's just crazy because I've been so looking at where I am and where I want to be, and having faith for where I want to be, and having faith for okay, knowing that, yes, I can get out of here, but being not content with where I am right now in the moment, like, so then I'm in the state of always questioning and wondering, when is it going to happen? How is it going to happen? And I'm not actually, and in doing that, I'm not actually in any position to receive, because at that moment it's not there for me. So I'm speaking, I'm vibrating as if it's not there for me. And I remember being so worried. There was something I needed by the end of the week, and it didn't happen for me. And I remember thinking the night before, I'm like, okay, come on, God, like, what is going on? Why isn't, I did everything I was supposed to. Now this is your part. Like, how come till today I don't see what I'm asking for? And I remember something inside of me is like, chill out, wake up tomorrow and do what you need to do. So I chilled out, woke up the next morning and did what I need to do. But I'm like, but you didn't come through. So am I supposed, but like, even if he didn't, I was still getting that message of, but everything's okay, isn't it? I was like, okay. So I'm continuing to go through my day. And by the end of the day, none of the disasters I thought was going to happen ended up happening.
Yep.
And even if I didn't get what I wanted, it was still taken care of. And I started to look at even my own life, and I'm like, I'm trying to get this big sum of money so that I can live my best life and do everything that I want to do. But I'm like, I didn't ask technically for that. I asked for my dreams and my goals and all of this to help with that. And I'm receiving so many people come into me helping me. I'm receiving so many different things to help me with what it is that I'm trying to do. And I'm too busy looking at, no, but I want that. Like, I really want that. So I'm not really even moving, because instead of looking at the fact that I'm like, keep moving forward. As I take a step, everything that I need is coming. I take a step, even if it's not money, because I have this idea that money will solve all of my problems. So even if it's not specifically money that I'm getting, I'll take a step and then a person will show up. I'll take a step, a word will show up. I'll take a step, supplies will show up, and I haven't been looking at that because I'm too busy looking at, but I want that, so this is a breakthrough, because I'm like, as I'm moving forward and enjoying the process and receiving all of the things that are preparing me to receive what it is that I want anyways, it's like, I realize I'm like, at that point, I'm no longer worrying. I'm in this state of just receiving, and that's where I am right now on this call. That's why I feel so happy, because I almost want to say, okay, so you're telling me I just have to keep moving forward.
That's right.
And whatever I want, I can get.
That's right.
Whatever
That's
I want.
correct.
So that's even like, I almost want you to give an example. I want
will put
to
an example in your Bible.
Okay.
Okay. Delight yourself in my ways, and I'll give you the desires of your heart. That's in there. And I purposely went Old Testament for you. Now let's go new. Whatever you ask in my Father's name, believe and receive. I can do exceedingly and abundantly above
Come
all
on,
you
man.
ask
Come
or
on, come
think.
on, come on.
And I can
come
keep
on.
going if you
Holla.
want me to. I
Holla,
can go
holla.
on and on and on and on.
Holla,
because
man,
it's
holla.
nothing. Wherever your feet shall tread, I give to you,
Yes, sir.
Joshua. And it's over and over and over. I'll present you faultless before the only wise God. Right? It's over and over and over. It's there. God did not send you to earth to have low self-esteem, to struggle. Now, I'm not saying struggle is not a part of it, but struggle is beautiful when you understand it ain't struggle. It's moving forward. When you were a baby, you couldn't even hold your little loose neck up. You couldn't. You was a little loose neck baby, like all of us, little loose neck. You just kept doing this here the whole time. All yeah, just loose necks. And you were struggling to hold your neck up. But gravity, which pushes at your body about 13 pounds per square inch, you can handle that 13 pounds around your whole neck. You couldn't do it. But the struggle of gravity allowed you to turn your head. You see what I just did there? The struggle of gravity allowed you to lift your shoulders up high. See, the whole time, what's meant to be struggle for you ain't struggle at all. It's meant to make you stronger. You wouldn't even have no muscles if it wasn't for gravity. You wouldn't. None of you women would look good in heels with your calf muscles if you didn't first hurt the muscles a little bit and get them little, you know what I'm talking about, the little curve you got going on. It's the truth. Men wouldn't have no chest if it wasn't for pain. None of us would be born if none of us had an easy birth. You didn't just go, oop, you're out of here, no blood whatsoever. That did not happen. It didn't. Struggle gave you life. Struggle ain't supposed to be your life. There is a difference. Struggle gave you life. Struggle was never supposed to become your life. Since you Christian, I'm gonna keep. If you Muslim, I'm coming to you in your language. I know them all. Okay. Since you Christian, I'm coming to you in your language. I beseech thee, brethren, under the mercies of God, to present your body holy and acceptable, okay, as a living sacrifice, not a dead one. Jesus did that. Now he alive. I need you to give your living, not your life. So when I say struggle gave you life, struggle is not supposed to be your living. These are two different things. You got life so you can have the participle of living, the ongoing action with no end in sight. Here's what struggle really is. Struggle is holding on to the problem and the solution at the same time. That's all struggle is. You got the problem in one hand and the solution in the other. That's what struggle is. That's Antonio T. Smith Jr.'s definition of struggle. Holding on to the problem and the solution at the same time. Now watch this here, Bodie. When I let go of the problem, I ain't struggling no more. I got the right stuff in a harvest that don't serve me. That's no longer a problem. Because I'm going to keep moving forward. And I'm going to walk out that harvest that don't serve me with the solution. That made myself too happy. Okay. The goal is to walk out of harvest, not sit in them. If it don't serve you, keep moving. Now watch the same example. Watch this here. Struggle, solution. I'm going to let go of the solution and start doubting, start being right. Start being arrogant. Let me get rid of that solution. Antonio's stupid. He don't know what he's talking about. Boop, solution out the window. Now I just got the struggle. Now watch what happens when I keep moving forward. I'm already in the thing that don't serve me, but since I'm holding what don't serve me, when I walk out of what don't serve me, I still got what don't serve me. And every time I walk out of this harvest, I create this harvest. Because I'm still holding on to the doo-doo that don't serve me. I done walk out the unfresh air, but I still smell manure everywhere. Why? Because it's on my hand. And every clean place I walk to is unclean. Because I got the struggle in my hand. That's it. That's it. Some of us are the same person in every relationship we've ever been, and we keep blaming those people. We ain't even grown yet. 20 relationships, same person. Ain't even got it right. Not one time. Didn't even try. Didn't even try. Same person. Struggle is not necessary. Just because something is difficult don't mean you got to label it struggling. As a matter of fact, let me tell you what I do. Y'all see some of my prayer stuff. I don't ask for nothing. Where I'm at in my awareness, in my faith, I simply expect or demand what I choose to experience. Because I understand if I got to ask for it, I'm admitting I don't have it. And I'm not fit to do that. Because according to Bryant in his Bible, cattle of 1,000 hills. And I don't got time to know stuff exists all around me and to ask for it. I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that. I notify, hey, this is what I need. In fact, I take you through the whole process. I need $23,000 in 28 days. Actually, I'm sorry, because I never used the word need. I expect $23,000. I expect $23,000 in 28 days. As a matter of fact, let me do a real example. I personally need, me personally, okay? I'm using the word need for right now. I need $117,000 in the next 30 days. In order for Antonio T. Smith Jr. to be broke, I need $117,000 to be broke. Okay, I just want y'all to process this for a second. To be broke in the next 30 days, I got things to do, people to pay, et cetera, et cetera. I need $117,000. So we're going to use me as a real example, okay? That's the real number I need. You follow me, FOD? That's the real number. Okay? Now, watch this here. I expect this $117,000. As a matter of fact, I want $1 million. Because I ain't got time to be broke. I demand into my reality $1 million, 10 times, 100 times more than what I need. Now, universe, I ain't going to tell you how to do it. Because I know if I do that, I ain't going to get it. I ain't going to tell you how to give it to me. I don't know who's going to come up, but that ain't my problem. My problem is to just know I expect it. Other than that, do your thing, universe. I don't care what you do. By the way, I ain't going to be stressing because I know I'm on the battlefield of my decision.
Antonio?
It's just like Napoleon. Yes, ma'am.
I have a question. When you said that, is that the same thing as being specific when you pray to God? Because you said you're not going to ask how.
Yes, I am being specific. I'm also answering the question of how to allow to. I'm also being specific, but I'm coming to the throne bold.
Okay.
All right. Some of them old church folk know that was the scripture. All right. I'm coming to the throne of grace boldly. There was a story of a young man who conquered the world. This young man took all the world by storm. You may have heard of him. Alexander was his name. He was from Macedonia. They called him the Great. Alexander had a problem with one of his captains. His captains kept losing battles where Alexander was trying to get these victories. Bring that captain to me, Alexander said. The captain comes. Captain, what's your name? Sir, it's Alexander. What? Son, what's your name? He said, Sir, it's Alexander, General. Don't you dare bear my name and not my attitude. Sent them back. Never had a problem with that captain again. Some of y'all out here bearing Christ and don't have his attitude. I hope you knew I was going somewhere with that story. You bearing Allah and you ain't got the attitude. Come on, you worship Buddha without the attitude. You don't get to do that. You don't get to have faith without faith's attitude. That ain't how it works. It works by adopting the vibration of whatever you worship to. But you don't get to have two different vibrations. My grandmother said, a friend of everybody is a friend of none. My grandmother old school. She had a lot of old folks saying. She understood. If I let you talk about her in front of me, ain't no telling what I'm gonna do when you ain't in front of me. She understood. She old school. She wanted me to say, if somebody talked about her, she wanted me to say, hey, don't you say that about my grandmother. She wanted me to have a backbone. She wanted me to act like a leader and a man. She's always telling me, don't no woman want no man that can't lead. That's what she told me. I get out the shower, she rubbed my ankles. Get back in there and take another bath. You're dirty. Don't no woman want no man that's dirty. Took me in the kitchen one day. Grandmother, I don't want to clean. I don't want to cook. Girls cook. Boy, don't no woman want no man that can't cook. Constantly, she was trying to tell me, you need to vibrate at the frequency of whatever woman that you want. You need to start now. Somebody missed it, Jerome. Whatever your dream girl is, you need, at 14, that's when she adopted me. At 14, you need to, you ain't getting married yet, but you're going to act like it. You're going to adopt these skills right now. You ain't going to get out of my house and not be able to cook, not be able to clean. You know them rap songs, you don't know these math problems. That's my grandmother. Don't worry about y'all grandmother. I'm just talking about mine. Cindy say, sound like we have the same grandmother. She's sure right. I'm telling you, you have to believe it, and you got to act like you're supposed to act. So I need, back to the story, $117,000. I'm not asking. For what? America is $19 trillion or $21 trillion in debt right now. That also means there's $21 trillion in circulation. And I can't find 117,000 of that? Really? Trillions? Right now, we all on Wi-Fi. And Wi-Fi carry credit card information. Right now, through this jacket and this shirt, I got millions of dollars flowing through me right now, radiation waves and frequency modulation, FM, all that stuff. Specifically 8.02.11 G, B, or N. That's what your Wi-Fi is operating at right now. Right now. And it's carrying all the passwords, all the money, all the Bitcoins, and I can't find $20? Because I'm not vibrating at it. I haven't allowed myself as the receiver to pick up the radio station with my blessing. So if you want to learn how to allow, do what I do. I expect $1 million in 30 days. And I don't care how it comes. That ain't none of my business. I'm not stressing. I'm relaxed. And when it show up, I ain't going to be surprised. I got surprised when I thought about it. When it show up, I've already seen and smelled what it look like. Because I can see it before my eyes. I can feel it in my hands. I can see the shock on my team's faces. I can see Tipper's new shoes. I'm trying to help somebody, Jerome. I'm telling you, hey, Antonio, did you ever think you'd be? Yes, I did. I did think I'd be this far because I said it. I have never in my life as a kid, when I was 6 years old in a trash can and everybody forgot me, I'm telling you, Law, I ain't got no shame about it. I said I want to be rich and famous so nobody ever forget me again. At 6 years old, I decided everybody was going to know me and I was going to have a lot of money. Now that everybody know me, and I got a lot of money, I ain't shocked. I said what I said. That's what Tempest would say. And I'm serious.
Can
Now,
I add on to that?
You sure can. Go ahead.
It's funny that you said that because I always said since I was younger, and I was going before scared, that I was going to retire at 30, and I'm well on my way to that. So I truly understand what you mean by that, okay? And I just wanted to add on the last from what Robin had mentioned before, walking in whatever it is that you say that you are. You have to walk it before it actually comes into fruition. And Jerome and I always have this conversation. When we was at the Les Brown event and they was choosing people for the program, they didn't choose me. I chose myself. I heard my name called. That's why I was standing up there. And then when they counted it off, I was the 8th person. And everybody know 8 is my number, okay? I'm one of 8. I got 8 letters in my first, middle, and last name. I was born in 88. I'm the 3rd child. 3 plus 5 equals 8. Did I mention 8 is my favorite number? So you got to walk it. You got to walk it. All right?
This is a real deal conversation. I got to Les Brown Institute. I was quiet. Tempter say, you know you're killing our blessings, right? What you talking about? Man, I was just sitting up there doing my thing. And that's why we not doing our thing. Because you went there in July quiet. Ain't nothing about you quiet. When you go back in October, you need to show them who you are. I ain't lying, this really happened. You need to show them who you are. Because until, and I quote, you be who you are, you don't create a platform for us. So that's my job. That's my burden, my responsibility. And it took someone who followed me to have to lead me and smack my hand. God can't bless you is what she said. Because you too quiet. He don't even know where you at right now. I'm trying to help somebody. We got 7 minutes left. I'm trying to help you. I'm working my way to a close, Jerome. I'm trying to help you. I sat here and punished my team because I wanted to be like somebody else. I wanted to sit back and observe. I ain't in that role. I'm not in a sitting back and observing role. My whole team could quit. Guess who can't quit? Me. I can't. I never get to take a day off. I never get to get sad. I don't get to have no faith. I always have to look 6 years out. I want you to think about that for a second. To go back to the story. I need $117,000. Here's how I communicate. I expect. Now, there's something I always say. I got this from Think and Grow Rich. You should hear it. I expect $1 million in 30 days. Or you just going to have to kill me. Because you said I'm valuable and you need me. And I burnt my bridges. I'm the warrior on the battlefield, just like in Think and Grow Rich. Hear me well. I done burnt these ships. Nah, I expect this money. And if you don't give it to me, just take me out of here. Because you know I'm dumb enough to keep going till I get this money. I truly believe God be blessing me because he be like, boy, just here, you know, my nerves, just go on, take this here. I'm serious. I'm not willing to do nothing that I'm not willing to die for. And that's the difference between me and a whole lot of people. I'm currently running for president of the United States. I'm not trying to plug it. I'm just trying to tell you I'm willing to die for it. You're going to give it to me or you're going to take me out. It just is what it is. If I don't get it, you better find another plan. You better convince me somehow, because you know I'm stupid enough to try again. Now I'm going to keep trying until you take me out. I don't know how to stop. I don't have it in me. I stopped before, and they forgot about me. I was homeless, and I let them keep me there. Poverty never served me a day in my life. Winning never taught me nothing. Only thing winning ever taught me was to be arrogant, comfortable, and superstitious. Only thing winning ever taught me, how to be arrogant, comfortable, and superstitious. I thought I was bigger than my britches. I got comfortable and didn't want to work hard. Or I said, let me just keep doing the same thing and then to keep working. I bet I sound like some of y'all. Losing taught me everything I ever need to know in my life. But losing ain't got nothing to do with poverty. Losing happens on the road to prosperity as well. I ain't come here to lose. I'm going to get it until it's given to me. And I ain't telling God how to bless me and all that stuff. I want it. I expect it. Make it happen. You said, if I think it, you can do more than what I think. Show me. That's not arrogant. That's quite intelligent. I just exercise huge faith. So I get huge blessings. Don't think small. I don't have time to think small. If I wanted something small, I'd be trying to sell y'all right now. Man, look here. Get this lesson, get this blessing, go back, figure out somebody else to talk to or to tell you how to get in behind the scenes. As for me, I'm just pouring out. You know, man, I'm not fit to, there's a guy. He's in the sacred text again. They call him Joseph. Joseph, peculiar character. I mean, he scared the crap out of me, y'all. Joseph of the Old Testament. Scares the crap out of me. He does. He does. Let me tell you why. Because he was in the house called Potiphar's. Mm-hmm. And he said, my master gave me all this. Everything I want is at my fingertips. Look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this. Then he got into a little trouble that wasn't his fault. Went to prison for 2 years. But I want to tell you something. Scares me for two reasons. Scares me because in prison, he was under the palace. Don't miss it. I'll rewind it. It was Pharaoh's prison, which means it was in Pharaoh's palace. For 2 years, he was 20 feet below his destiny. Some of y'all right now feel like you're in prison, but you're 20 feet below your destiny. I'm talking at least FOD right now. You're simply 20 feet below where you're supposed to be. That's why it scares me, because I have a habit of breaking down in prison situations. See, in my wrong mind, I'd have gave up in prison and stayed there. When 2 years later, I'd have been over all of Egypt. But here's what really scares me. Not me breaking down in prison. What really scares me is at Potiphar's house. He was balling in Potiphar's house. But the palace was his destiny. And I know, had I been in that story, I'd have settled for Potiphar's house. I have a chronic habit law of settling. I wouldn't have never went to the palace because I was too scared of the prison. I'm just being transparent. I'm telling you about me. I'd have stayed in $25,000 a year situation. Never got to $25 million a year situation. All because my little mind ain't as strong as Joseph's in any of his minds. I challenge all of you. If it ain't working for you, please consider you 20 feet under your palace. That's how the story went. Pharaoh's prison was also underneath Pharaoh's palace. It wasn't that far away. You're trapped in a situation that's not even a trap for you. You had to get thrown into prison to get thrown by your promise. Antonio T. Smith Jr., you can plant better. You can dominate. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you. We'll see you next time. Love you. Appreciate you. Next Wednesday.
Great call. Great call.
Thank you.